So we got another video here by Veibae Desu. Creepy VShojo officer exposed by former talents. Oh shit. It's going down. It was going down. Let's go.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So what if I told you the VShojo situation has somehow gotten worse? Well, you'd probably believe me because that's pretty much the case every single day since the implosion of this company started just a few days ago. And today is really no different. We're going to be looking at some more trouble for the leadership of VShojo, including some potential state and federal charges. And one of the people in that management group is an officer who left 2 months ago and then tried to join the mob going after VShojo. However, now that a lot of NDAs have been broken, former talents are coming out and sharing their experience with this particular officer and how he is just basically a giant creep and someone who's in a lot of hot water right now. So let's begin with the CEO of the former company, VShojo, the Gun Run. Now, this guy has been facing a lot of heat since day one of this VShojo situation. He has been the person people have been looking at. He is the captain of the ship, and I regret to inform you guys, I have some very sad news. Twitch has removed the Gun Run global emote. I know a lot of people are really disappointed about this, but yeah, I had to share that with you guys first. But yesterday we talked about
Twitch is bruh, like they're the biggest hypocrites in the fucking world. What? So that's it? You're just gonna remove the emote? Like, some people are getting banned, bro. Like, you know, Twitch is, I swear, it's the worst app that I've seen when it comes to policies and all of that, you know. Bro.
In our video, this message that VShojo released, this is their official statement from Gun Run himself, and he says many things, saying that VShojo has failed and he mismanaged the company and that they're shutting down and that they had all these funds they couldn't get loans to make up for, and basically he spent all the money the company had, including the revenue that was supposed to go to the talents and also the charity money. And he tries very hard in this paragraph right here, while basically admitting he misappropriated funds, to say, oh, I kind of like didn't know that $500,000 that was supposed to go to charity, I didn't know that was like for charity, and I just kind of spent it on other things. Yeah, really bad move. Of course, this is referring to what Iron Mouse said in her video explaining why she left VShojo, where she mentions the $500,000 she raised for the Immune Deficiency Foundation through her subathon last year. That $500K never made it to that organization, and of course we now know it was spent on other things in a very, very bad decision by Gun Run and all of the management over at VShojo. Now, in this statement, they try very hard to act like they had no idea what was going on, where this charity money came from. The Immune Deficiency Foundation, who's that? Subathon, huh? Yeah, well, there's a crazy paper trail. There's a crazy trail of activity showing that VShojo, and in particular Gun Run, knew this was going on and were actively cheering on this charity effort by Iron Mouse. Beginning with this, they released a press briefing. They actually released a press briefing to the public talking about Iron Mouse's success in her subathon, even mentioning
the success is the money, the Benzes, they're buying houses, Benzes, all of that, bro. I swear, like, this is why we should just start opening VTuber agencies and just effing these guys over, because why would you guys trust these people, dude?
She is the at the time the #1 all-time sub to Twitch streamer on the entire platform. They were so proud of this, they released a press statement and even talked about the charity. And then we go further. We see the Gun Run reposting this Ludwig tweet talking about the fact that this raised money for charity, that half of the money was going to charity from the subathon. Here's another retweet from the Gun Run, directly from Iron Mouse, where she talks about the subathon ending, right? And the success of it. And of course, we have this photo right in front of the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Their logo right there. There he is, standing right next to them, right next to Iron Mouse.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shit. Yeah. Talk about shit. I got on as making coins, yo. What watch is he wearing? Ah, man, this guy must have been making cheddar.
He knew everything that was going on with this, okay? And he knew how important this was to her. And it gets worse. One last one. Oh, geez. We're going to scroll down and see Gun Run, aren't we? Yup. You did it, Mouse. Yeah, he says that as he takes all the charity money and basically does whatever.
You did it. You made me rich. You did it. Yeah.
He did. With it. Well, it certainly didn't go to the charity, and it certainly didn't go to Iron Mouse. That's all we know.
Nah, but that's so sad, dude. Like, how do you do this? Like, I don't get it. Like, how? Like, how?
Of course, legal mindset. An actual attorney is weighing in on the situation. I guess being an actual attorney is probably more of a qualification than what it appears to be at any sort of counsel at VShojo, because apparently one of their lawyers doesn't even have a active license. It expired.
Whoa.
This is a joke. But legal mindset would weigh in on this and talk about just how serious this is in terms of potential state and federal laws that were violated. But also, keep in mind, it's not just Gun Run. A lot of people are going to focus on him, but that doesn't mean all the other officers and higher-ups at VShojo are off the hook.
Leaving 2 months ago doesn't get you off the hook. This thing has been going on for a while, at least in terms of the people not being paid, and also in terms of the charity misallocation. This is something that was done in the past. So if you were there as an officer 2 months ago and you quit, you're not necessarily off the hook. When the investigation looks at this, they get into the emails, they get into the documents, they get into, okay, what happened here? There at some point is going to be revealed a number of people, not just the gun run, but definitely including the gun run, that were involved in taking those funds and putting them other places. There were discussions that were had.
Benzes, houses. The only reason why people steal money is to better their life. Honestly, always. It always happens on vacations or cars, watches, designer, who knows?
And even if they were had in person, someone's going to crack, someone's going to break. No one wants
someone is going to crack. Oh, you know, these guys are weasels, bro. Come on. This is not a criminal organization. They were doing VTubing agency. Someone is going to crack because the government is, or whoever, or if not government, then the state might just say, yo, we're going to put you in for prison for 10 years unless you testify under court. Someone will testify, you know?
Federal prison. This is wire fraud. This is misallocation of funds. This is violation of various other state and federal laws. This is no good, right? And assuming on the face that all the facts we have are true, which I have no reason to believe because they've confessed this now. They've said, no, we actually misallocated the funds.
Oh,
There's no further proof needed other than getting into who's liable.
Now, you see a particular officer mentioned in that video, and you'll see throughout the rest of this video, this guy's going to be the highlight. So you see this individual, Mo Tendu, better known as MTD, as we'll see throughout the rest of this video. This is someone who left VShojo in May. They made a statement here on Twitter. It's their pinned tweets. They talk about all of the wonderful memories they had with VShojo back then as an officer, a higher up in the company, saying they had such a great experience with VShojo. And again, this is just 2 months ago. But then, when everything starts after the Iron Mouse video, he jumps in and says, nah, bro, what the absolute F? And then tags his former CEO. The person
Look at the Twitter community. This user was also included in many VShojo mismanagement issues and also been called out for ooh, holy Twitter.
Used to work for as an officer at VShojo. And of course, you can see the community note saying this user was included in many of VShojo's mismanagement issues and has been called out for harassing.
This bro, community notes needs to come to Instagram, to YouTube. It needs to go everywhere. I don't know why community notes hasn't blown up. Like, come on, this shit needs to blow up. It needs to blow up to Twitter, not even to Instagram, to Facebook, and to YouTube. This would really be such a cool thing, honestly.
Balance. Wow, color me shocked. I can't believe this just happened. But yeah, this guy tried to basically join in on the mob going after VShojo. It was like, yeah, I'm part of the team, guys. And people took a step back and said, wait a second. The issues going on with VShojo, they've been happening for years under your management. You were an officer in the company during this entire thing. And now you're trying to play on the side of the mob going after VShojo? Yeah, not so fast, buddy. And basically this guy, he self-inserted into the situation to try to get clout on Twitter, and now he put a giant spotlight on himself, and people are digging through this guy's account, and now the talents are sharing their experiences with him because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, and it's bad. It's real bad, ladies and gentlemen. We'll begin with this photo. I'm telling you, man, the Sonichu medallion, it claimed another soul. Here this guy is. That's our MTD. I don't know what he's wearing on his face. It looks like he's wearing Miku's panties on his face. But he's masked up. Okay, that's a bit of a joke. It's 2018, yeah, before the pandemic and everything, but it's a convention. People wear masks. But anyways, he has a lot more to worry about than wearing a silly mask. Veibae, who's a former VShojo talent, would come out with a lengthy statement absolutely chastising this guy. It's bad. She begins by talking about the company, but eventually we'll get into this officer and how he is basically, according to her, a creep who has been told to basically stay away from the women within the company. Okay, so let's begin with the statement. So, as she says, our NDAs are now void. Why I left VShojo? Back in 2023, VShojo tried to bully me into one of their most predatory contracts that I've ever seen. When I tried to ask more about it, their COO got extremely hostile with me and refused to answer any of my questions, and so I had to hire a lawyer in order to get some clarification. Good. During the talks, it became clear that VShojo would rather let me go than to take less away from me. They were ultimately wanting me to give up more than half of my sponsor revenue and over 60% of all merch sales.
What's the point of being in a VTuber agency, guys? If they want to take 60% and half of your revenue for them to do absolutely nothing, bro, this is career suicide. Jesus, guys.
Asked from them in return is to not take a cut of the sponsors that I was getting through Mythic. Mythic Talent being an organization that helps people get various sponsorships, basically, right? But as that cut was already being taken, they said no. They want it all. Remember in the final notice, their final statement on VShojo's page, they said, like, we gave generous cuts. Does this sound very generous? No. This sounds as bad as Niji Sanji at this point. But anyways. And so I asked to leave after being treated like I was disposable in our talks. They basically made it seem like they were my employer and that they were the reason for my success, that I owe them, and that I should be happy to give them my money. Bro. In order for me to leave, they demanded I sign an NDA that prevented me from speaking to any other talent about it. I could not say why I was leaving. I could not say what the terms that I was saying no to were. I even got in trouble for advising them to hire their own attorneys. They would watch my streams, read my Discord, and then threaten to sue me. If I said anything that hinted towards how I really felt about the company, I was threatened with a lawsuit.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, basically trying to intimidate her and even threaten legal action, trying to weaponize the law system to make sure she keeps her mouth shut.
That's crazy. Man, and you know the sad part is, it's not just VShojo that's doing this. A lot of these VTuber agencies are doing this. As Rev said, Niji Sanji is also doing this. A lot, bro. A lot of them are like this. Like, why do you guys do this to yourselves? You VTubers. Like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, bro?
Continues, another one of their leave terms was that I would announce both me and Silver on the same day in order to minimize the damage to their company. Their COO has begun to push a narrative on 4chan. Yes, I'm serious, on 4chan and other social media, that I am leaving because I plan to join OTK and that both me and Silvervale were troublemakers, so they were letting us go. Later, I found out that Nyanners wanted to leave around the same time due to also being unhappy with the contract, but was told she couldn't because it did not fit their narrative that they were pushing internally and externally. The amount of hate we've gotten over leaving, from fans calling us greedy bitches to people saying we're abandoning our friends and tossing aside the company because we're not successful enough. Stuff was effing painful not being able.
No, bro, but the problem is the reason why these people are leaving, because it's like, bro, you guys are taking 50%, but you ain't giving us anything. You just want to take 50% of our money and give us nothing. That's crazy, bro. That's No, that is sick. You know, you as a normal person, like today, would you like it if you're working and somebody's taking 50% of your money? No tax. I'm not talking about tax. People are taking 50% of your money before tax. No. Hell no. That's crazy.
To say anything sucked. So the thing about Nyanners being basically forced to stay with the company, even though she wanted to leave, because they didn't want them all to leave at once because it would make the company look bad, is something that is corroborated with Silvervale's account that we looked at yesterday. And also when they left, yeah, a lot of people were really mad. But I remember, the one thing I do remember is when they left, one of the first things Veibae said was the word retard, and people went absolutely insane. People got so mad. All the people who were like, you know, these wholesome Chungus VShojo fans, they turned on her instantly. And that's, you know, that's not even scratching the surface of people saying all these things she listed down here. But anyways, moving on. I only found out that I didn't get paid for any of my sponsors after I had already signed the NDA. After 2 years, I have still not been paid fully back. Another person added to the list, by the way. To add insult to injury, they also demanded I had to pay them back $10K for some of the anniversary assets, which, when they sent me back months later, were half finished. Despite all that, I've had immense faith that the company has gotten better over the past 2 years. I assumed they rewrote their contracts if they're losing 3 people due to them and seeing all the new talent join. No. Clearly, this was not the case. Now, this is the best part. Okay, the fun facts she lists here. Their company lawyer has an expired law license. He literally does not practice law anymore, yet he was our point of contact for any legal help we needed. Yes, that is embarrassing. You couldn't even find just like a random lawyer? Like, you couldn't find just...
No. Because I'm telling you, the company lawyer also had some money with the, you know, my English is going. The company lawyer was also a part of the whole corruption scheme. Literally, that's why he's the company lawyer. He's some guy that they found. They're like, you want some money? Let's make money. Boom, boom, boom. Because hiring a real lawyer is expensive. Hiring a lawyer is very expensive, guys, you know?
A licensed attorney, that's how low the bar is. But the next one says they actively pitted us against one another during my time there. Yep. And compared our success to others. They tried enforcing streaming schedules so that our view count would look better due to less overlap. They would always talk smack about other VTuber agencies. They literally would spend company money to get a tiny dig at them, especially Hololive. Wow, color me shocked. It literally lived rent-free in Gunrun's head. They were convinced Hololive was over when they signed Kason and Nazuna. Once again, Hololive wins by doing absolutely nothing. Just continuing on and watching all these other companies shoot themselves in the foot. But here's the next one saying our previous talent manager got ghosted for 6 months by Gunrun, told not to do any work for us, and then got fired for not doing anything. During this fiasco, we weren't able to get any assistance. And here we go. MTD got reprimanded for being creepy to us. Got told not to message us privately. Go figure. And she continues on, and that's the officer we've been talking about earlier in the video. She continues on saying, I have proof from other streamers attending their IRL parties that MTD would actively smack talk me after I left the company to paint me in the worst light imaginable. Don't know why you're acting innocent on Twitter pretending you weren't aware of anything. Can't wait to see all the stuff that comes out about you because there's loads. But those aren't my stories to tell. Yeah, it's about to get a lot worse for this person. And guess what? More people would weigh in, but it all makes sense, right? As pointed out here, right? Former co-founder, this officer, MTD, saying, I am legally allowed to simp for our own VTubers, asking for a friend.
Oh, shit.
And then says, I am This was not a Freudian slip, I swear.
Oh shit. That's
Yep.
creepy.
Never hire a simp to work.
One thing I gotta say, especially with like VTubers, these people are very, how can I put it, unique. So it's very difficult, you know. I don't like his approach, you know, when it's how he's approaching these type of people, because they have such unique personalities and a unique aspect on how they do their things. Now you kind of like, it's creepy to have somebody that's like this, you know, because it does make people feel uncomfortable of like, oh, like what is that supposed to mean, that you want to simp over, like it's a bit weird, you know, like I don't know. I get what people mean, that he's kind of a bit creepy. It's weird. Like
For a VTuber agency, not good. No good things come of that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a statement from Nyanners responding
Nyanners
to Veibae's post, saying MTD, the officer, had the audacity to talk smack about you to my face at a party the year that we all left, and painted you as some kind of a conniving, greedy, mean girl who was in my ear and manipulated me into leaving VShojo just because you wanted me to join OTK because her boyfriend Soda Poppin is part of that org, or for personal gain or some stuff. He got
the thing which I hate about VShojo, they're making you feel guilty for you wanting more pay. That's crazy, bro. How can you make people feel guilty? This was such a toxic work environment. They want to make more money while you don't make nothing. They want you to work to the bone till your bone is dry, and then they're gonna take everything from you. Like, that's crazy, bro. That is unfair, you know. I understand why these other talents are like, yo, we're actually not getting paid, and we got bills, and we're growing up. As much as it's the whole VTubing thing, these are real people in their 20s, bro. They also have lives and aspirations and all of that, you know. People want to grow and actually literally like start their own lives. Not now, you know, you're not getting paid at all. Imagine you're working, guys. You do all of this YouTube thing, you see how much revenue you have, and you have zero. Oh, dude, that would be insane. And I'm speaking zero after, like, before tax, you know? That time, dude, it's insane, dude. It's insane. Yo.
Comfortably close and up in my face, and was like, come on, I know the real reason you left. I know it was because of Vei. She talked you into it. Wait a second. You're telling me this guy was acting creepy? You're telling me this guy right here. I can't believe it. Anyways, etc. And it was infuriating. I know he's spread that same stuff to other staff, talent, and other industry people. Seeing one of my closest friends get dragged through the mud like this for years was awful. You did absolutely nothing wrong and had so much stuff flung at you just because they wanted to push a narrative to protect the company. For him to act like he's completely blameless is insulting. He is a creepy MF, and there's a lot more, obviously, but a lot of it is also not my story to tell. This dude has been absolutely obliterated, and I'm telling you, I said this on Twitter as well, the mountain of stuff that's going to be coming out about not just people like this, but VShojo as a company is going to be insane. All the lids have been pulled off. People are going to feel free to speak, and they're going to feel very vindicated, and they're going to feel like they're going to be awarded to speak, right? People believe them right now because they know this company is a bunch of shysters and weirdos. And now it's okay, come out. Like, there's going to be so much more people have to say about this company, but
Jeez Louise, I think I'm going to leave it there. VShojo, god damn it. Best viewers on Steamboot. Who is this? Actually, no, I hate people that just come in and advertise. But VShojo, okay, let me just make it big for you guys. Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles, guys. That's how the cookie crumbles. It sucks, unfortunately, but you know, that's how it is, guys. You know, that's the sad part about being a part of these VTubing agencies and all of that. It just really, 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 really sucks. You know, I don't understand why they would do that to these talents, bro. These talents, these people work so hard for these people, and they just wake up and they're like, we gonna F you over. Oh well, you know. Crazy work, bro. Crazy work. It's how the cookie crumbles, guys, you know. It's how the cookie crumbles. It's how things happen. You guys better be careful all the time because, you know, this could easily happen to anyone. You know, it's easily happens to anybody, bro. Because I swear, like the sad thing about this is that, you know, like it's so easy for it to just happen because these companies, they just overdo it. They I don't know, bro. It's just so sad. It breaks my heart to see something like this happen to. Imagine you're working for these companies and they do this to you. You know, like that just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you work for a company and they do this to you and you get fucked over, you get exploited, you get bro, so sad. So sad, bro. So freaking sad, you know? Okay, guys.